just to let you guys know. All right, we're gonna find a seated position. And I always like to add, to recommend, put some support underneath you, whether it be a blanket, your blocks, something to elevate those hips so that the knees can be below the hips if possible. And then just kind of wiggle around a little bit, move side to side, move that fluff out from underneath you. And then just kind of move your body, your torso side to side, maybe a little forward and back, just to find your center point. And then when it feels right, just find a nice soft position and just find some stillness. Maybe take that moment to draw the shoulders up around your ears and then let them drift down and back. And if it feels right, just let the outer eye soften down so you can bring the focus inward as you start to follow the rhythm of your breath. Feel the beautiful rise and fall. That constant flow of life happening through you. And today, if you wish, you can join me with the chin mudra. So we'll just turn our palms upward and we'll just draw the thumb and index finger, the tip of the index finger to touch the thumb. So it makes that circular position. And then the other finger's kind of like, okay, let the other three fingers just fall open. And this is mudra, the symbolic hand symbol, is just here to remind us of that union that we are all a part of, that wholeness that we all are, to tap into all of that. Today's practice is about Vikalpa, which is our imagination. So I invite you to imagine that you are like a tree. And as you breathe in, perhaps you can imagine you're breathing in from the base of your spine. And as you exhale out, just imagine you're breathing out through the base of the spine and spreading those roots beneath you. And imagine those roots are going far, deep, and wide. Anchoring you here as you breathe in this moment. There's nothing to do right now. Just be. As you continue to imagine your breath is just saturating the roots growing beneath you. And I was drawn to today, Matthew 7:7-8. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds, and to the one who knocks, it will be opened. So just imagine that you're knocking at your heart mind today to open the door of possibilities. Getting away from the indoctrination that we have all been just born into, and getting back into the land where God resides in our imagination. And the quote to open our class today is from Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Sit in reverie and watch the changing colors of the waves that break upon the idle seashore of the mind. And as we take these next few breaths here together, perhaps you begin to deepen the breath even just a little bit, breathing from the depths of the belly as you Inhale and the belly rises. Exhaling and letting the belly fall. And this is an opportunity here to now set your heart's intention for today. Pardon my dog, she's on treats already. Maybe it was something that I spoke, or maybe it's something else altogether. Or maybe for today, you just wish to breathe in, I am open. I am open to imagine the life that I love. Now, if you're holding that mudra, just let your hands begin to wiggle free as you let that wholeness just move throughout all parts of you. And then just soften your hands down in front of you and just gently fold forward. Take this moment to fold forward and let the head shake out. Shake it out, no, shake it out, yes. Perhaps knock at the back of the heart mind as you open up the back of the heart mind to receive in this humble position. And now just still the head and take your time and walk your hands back up. And if it feels right, you can open the eyes up. And then we'll just switch the cross. So we'll put that non-dominant leg in front in that nice easy cross position. And then let's take our inhale up and let that right hand soften over as maybe you look down to the earth beneath you as you spread the roots beneath your hand. Feel the left hip drop down as you feel that opening through the left side. And now slowly inhale, rise up. Exhale, let the left hand float down, reach over. Start to spread the roots through the other palm. As you feel the right side body expand. So now inhale, rise, and now let your breath guide you side to side. Maybe you keep looking down as you spread your hand, or maybe you start to shift the gaze, looking up. And if you look up, just return the gaze to neutral before you come up, and then just let yourself flow to the other side. And invite the breath to just travel into those tight, sticky spaces. So that you can find more freedom, so that you can be more open. So let's do that maybe one more time, each side, just side to side. And then let's take our inhale together and then slowly revolve to the right. So let the hands just soften down, the front hand on the thigh, the other hand behind you. Just pause here for this moment. Breathe with a nice tall spine as you twist and soften the shoulders down. So only if it feels right, we're just going to begin to lift that top hand, plant the rear hand, and maybe lift the hips. And then soften the hips, soften the hand. And then just slowly release only the gaze. Just look over your front shoulder. And now unwind the rest of the body and return back forward. And then we'll revolve to the left. Slowly let the hands soften down. Feel the lift through the crown as the roots keep spreading beneath you. So just like before, only if it feels right, plant that rear hand down, lift the front arm, and maybe lift the hips just a little bit. I am open. And then exhale, soften the hips, soften the hand back to the outer thigh, staying revolved. And then just melt the gaze forward, only the gaze looking forward over that front shoulder. And then allow the rest of the body to return with you forward. And then exhale, melt down with the hands painting the canvas in front of you. And now fold forward. Once again, you can shake that head out a little, shake it out, no, shake it out, yes. Just open yourself up to the possibilities, to begin to imagine the life that you love in all ways. And now slowly begin to inhale up as the spine begins to grow taller and the head begins to stack last. And then we're just going to press ourselves forward, turning our feet back in space. If you want the blanket there underneath your knees, you can keep it there or just come into your table position. Lower the knees down, hands underneath the shoulders, spread those palms wide again. So let's move through that cat-cow breath. Slowly soften the belly, lift the heart, lift the hips. Lift the gaze, and then let that exhale draw the back body up as you melt the gaze down, lowering the hips down. So just flow here through your cat-cow breath. And let's just do that 2 more times through the cat, through the cow. And now start to neutralize the spine, nice flat back. We're going to create our sunbird today so that we can be like the birds flying with all possibilities. So let's slowly hover that right knee above the earth. We're going to draw the knee to the nose as we round the back. And then as we exhale, send the heel to the sky. So we're just pushing the heel up to the sky. Inhale, draw the knee to the nose. Exhale, send the heel to the sky. So we're working that glute here. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Press that heel up and then slowly soften the knee down and send the leg back in space. And let's slowly draw that right foot to the left corner edge and just look over that left shoulder for a moment. Perhaps remembering all of your refining moments that brought you to this moment. And now soften the gaze back between the hands, soften the foot down, and then draw the knee down. So now we're gonna go to the other side. So now lift the left knee, start to draw the knee to the nose, rounding the head down, and then exhale, send the heel to the sky, press up. Inhale with the knee to the nose, and then exhale, press the heel to the sky, keeping that bend through the knee. Great job. And as you press the heel up, I am open to imagining a life I love. Last 2 here. Last one. And then soften the knee down, draw the foot back, lengthen out the leg, and then draw it over to the right corner edge and look over that right shoulder. And now slowly return the gaze back between the hands, return the foot, and then let the knee soften down. So we're gonna be doing some push-ups here. So you can walk your hands just a little further forward, just walking them forward so you can come into that kneeling plank. So you have options. You can go into your full plank, but we're doing those tricep push-ups. So these ones are a little harder. So I recommend staying on the knees, but whatever's for you. So now we're just gonna bend at the elbows, keeping the body or the arms next to the body, and then inhale. So slowly lower down and back up. Just bringing in some strength this morning. And if this isn't for you, just find your way down to the earth. Last 3 here. Last 2. Last 1, if you can, hover. And then soften the belly down and walk the elbows underneath you. Open the palms in front of you and just look forward. Let the glutes soften. Let the hips soften and just be held. And just feel the support of the earth beneath you. And just take a moment, if you'd like, just to look over each shoulder, slowly exhaling, looking over one shoulder at a time. Inhale draws you forward. Exhale, look over the other shoulder. Coming back forward when you're ready. And then slowly softening down, lower the chin to the chest, tuck the nose down as you lower the forehead down. So now bring your hands under the shoulders, gluing the elbows into the body. We're gonna press ourselves up and back into child's pose. So take your time sinking back, let the hips sink back. Now just let the belly be held by the thighs as you breathe through the low back. And perhaps just come up into your TP hands as you lift the palms, plugging the fingertips in. Just let the breath move through the wrists. And now just melt the palms down and let's circle the arms back alongside of the heels and let the shoulders soften down as the head softens down. Breathe through the back of the heart as you open yourself up to your imagination of the life that you love in all ways. We're going to act as if our arms are just being pulled up almost like wings as we start to lift our hips up, letting the head come, letting ourselves move to the crown of the head. So just breathe here as we empty our mind down to the earth beneath us, letting our heart just empty down to the mind as well. And then slowly soften the hips back, soften the forehead down, soften the hands down. And then we'll circle those arms back forward as we spread the fingers wide. We're gonna move here into our downward dog. If you'd like, stay in puppy dog with the knees on the earth, hips above the knees. So you get to choose. If you're going to down dog, just start to walk, pedal out those legs. So if those wrists are bothering you, perhaps just grab some socks, a washcloth, and bring them underneath the heels of the palms to elevate your wrists a little bit. Just start to breathe into the space in the back of the thighs. And while you're here, plug the shoulder blades in and back and down. Draw the hips to the sky. Tuck the low ribs in. And then when you're ready, we're gonna lift the right heel high. Circle that ankle a few times. Circle it the other way. Now turn the toes down to the ground as you turn or draw the inner thighs together. We're gonna draw the knee to the outer elbow. So slowly shift forward into plank. Draw the knee to the elbow. Breathe. Exhale, send the heel to the sky. Now, if you'd like, draw it to the opposite elbow. Slowly shift forward, draw the knee to the opposite elbow. Send the heel to the sky. We're gonna go 2 more times each side. So knee to the elbow, really working this core this morning. We're working some strength and some balance so that we are open to the possibilities. Last time, finishing up, knee to the right elbow, back high, knee to the left elbow. We'll all end in our 3-legged dog. And now slowly begin to draw the knee forward, step the foot forward. Pause here, and maybe you grab your blocks. Breathe here. So we're gonna start to draw the inner thighs towards one another here in our low lunge, stacking that front knee above the ankle. Maybe you come to your fingertips, maybe you come high. Breathe. And then expand the arms to the letter T as you open yourself to the possibilities. And then act as if they're like wings. Let them draw behind you as maybe you just hinge forward, letting the heart rest on the thigh. Reminding yourself you can do all things. You're God who strengthens you. Now soften the hands down to the earth or blocks. Slowly exhale, sink the hips back, lengthen out the front leg, head folds down. Taking a moment to just soften, bend the front knee and pivot the rear foot. We're gonna come on up into our warrior 2. So when you're ready, slowly reverse cartwheel up with those hands. And then spread your arms along the horizon as the shoulders soften down. So now you have the option, you can stay here with that bent front knee in our warrior 2 and just inhale up with the arms. If you wish, you can reach and extend the front leg as well. Exhale, soften the hands back down. Inhale, open your imagination to the possibilities. Exhale, expand into those possibilities. 3 more times, inhale. Exhale. Last 2. And last one. And now let's return our hands back down to the ground or blocks. Slowly exhale, lengthen out the front leg, head folds down. Now rebend the front knee, pivot the rear foot, set the blocks off to the side, and we're gonna step back into down dog. Take your time stepping back. And now we gotta do that other side. So when it feels right for you, slowly lift the left heel high, circle that ankle. Preparing for our balance work that's coming. Circle it the other way. And just like before, we're gonna do that tiger curl. So turn the toes down to the earth. We're gonna shift the weight forward, left elbow towards the left knee, or left knee towards the left elbow. Inhale, send the heel high. And now draw the knee to the opposite elbow. Inhale, high. So 2 more times. Exhale, squeeze, draw the knee in. Continuing to alternate elbows. Last time. Finishing up that opposite knee to the elbow. Drawing the heel high, pause. And then step the foot forward between the hands. Take your time, perhaps draw the blocks in. Steady your position here in space. And then slowly just come to your fingertips, just making sure the feet are aligned with the hips. Your hips are the tracks to stay upon. So maybe you come on up if that feels right. Turning both hips forward. Now let yourself expand into the possibilities. Open up the arms to the letter T. And now let your arms come behind you like wings. Maybe you let that chest lower down to the thighs. You have those wings behind you looking down. Just humbling yourself to receive the wisdom from the spacious sky above us. Now exhale, lower the hands down. On your next exhale, sink the hips back, pyramid pose, head folds down. Draw the inner thighs towards one another. And now begin to melt forward as you soften and bend the front knee. We're going to pivot the rear toes. So now it's parallel with the short edge of your mat. So take your time, just making sure the front knee is right over that front ankle, and then reverse cartwheel up into your warrior two as you expand into the strength. Feel the rear outer edge of your foot planting in, lifting the inner arch. So now either staying here with the bent front knee, if you'd like to, you can extend the front leg when we come up with the arms, reaching to the letter Y. Inhale, receive. Exhale, expand into that. Soften. Inhale, draw up. Exhale, soften, expand. I am open. I open my imagination to living a life I love. Last 2 times, reaching high. Last time, reaching. Let yourself expand into the possibilities. When you're ready, we'll cartwheel those hands down, framing the front leg. Then exhale, extend the front leg, head folds down. Now, when you're ready, slowly soften the front knee, slowly pivot the rear foot, setting the blocks off to the side. We're going to take our step back to downward dog again. Find your deep down dog. And then this time we're going to start to soften the knees. You can step, hop, walk forward, however is for you. So bend the knees if you're hopping, and then take that nice soft hop. Landing your feet as softly as you can as you find your forward fold. And just let your head shake out here a little. Again, perhaps wrap the hands on the elbows. Let gravity just help you here to decompress the spine. Let the head hang. So we're going to do some balance work. So if you need the wall for support, perhaps you take this moment to just move your mat up against something that's supportive, or bring a chair alongside of you. And then when you're ready, just soften the hands down. We're going to find our active back extension. So slowly inhale, plug the fingertips into the shins, L-shaped body, navel to the spine. Either draw the hands back to the hips or out to the letter T as you soften the knees, and then inhale, rise, upward hand salute. Draw the pinkies towards one another in a mini back bend. Just slightly lean back, looking high. And then slowly exhale, melt the hands down to the heart center, and just start to rock forward and back. I invite you to start to root your feet in. So rock forward and back, maybe rock side to side for a moment. And then just start to lift the toes. So once you find your center point, start to spread the toes, lifting them high, and then plant the toes down, starting at the pinky toe one at a time. So breathe here. Now lift up the inner arches, inner thighs, spiral in and back, tailbone tucks down. So now we're going to slowly begin to draw that right knee up and just bring our hands in front of the knee, circle the ankle. Once again, preparing for this balance work. And then still the foot, slowly lower the right foot down, plant it in again, and then switch sides. So now draw the left foot up. Once the right foot is planted, root it in, circle the ankle. All right, now soften the left foot down, slowly root the foot in. So maybe take that moment to lift both feet, lift the toes, spread the toes wide, let them fall down. So we're gonna come back and draw the right knee up again. And we're gonna start to revolve. So we're gonna keep the left hand on that right knee, slowly lift up that right arm and reach it back in space as it circles back. So you can keep your gaze forward here, or maybe start to draw the gaze to the side wall or back to the hand. Just challenging our balance as we shift our gaze. Opening yourself up to the possibility. So if the gaze is looking back, slowly turn it back forward. Slowly bring that arm forward, circling it forward. And now holding that front knee with the right hand, let's bring the left hand to the left hip. Draw that knee down as you trace the front of the shin, reaching for the top of the foot. If you need to, you can grab your strap here. So now we're just pointing the knee down to the earth, trying to get the tops of the thighs parallel to one another. Breathe through the front of the quad, through the front of the thigh. So maybe you wish to stay here, this is great as well. Or maybe you wish to move into your dancer pose to remind you to dance. No matter what's happening, sometimes we just need to dance it out. So soften that left knee a little bit as you maybe hinge forward, reaching the left hand forward, pressing the right foot into the right hand. Create that circle behind you, reminding you the infinite possibility within you. Slowly take your time to come back up. Slowly release the knee, draw the knee back up if you can. Touch down if you need. One more time, we're gonna hold that right knee with the left hand, circle the right arm back, reaching across the horizon. Maybe keep looking forward or shift the gaze. Now this time, let the right arm circle down and back to the knee, and then soften the knee down. Soften the foot down, and then take your inhale. Hands come together overhead, interlock the hands, and just gently reach to one side, to the right or to the left. Slowly come back center. I meant to flip the palms and reach to the other side. So we'll go back to that first side again now that the palms are flipped. And then take your time, come back to the center, flip the palms, lower the hands down to the heart, rock your feet forward and back. So we got to get ready for the balance on the other side. So now feel the right foot really root in. Spread the roots far, deep, and wide, and lift the inner arch. When you're ready, slowly lift the left knee and just pause here. So holding the left knee with the right hand, we're going to release the left hand, circling it all the way around back behind you. So maybe you keep that gaze forward, or maybe you start to challenge yourself by shifting the gaze. I am open to the possibilities. And even if the balance isn't there today, it's okay. This is why we challenge ourselves. To just breathe in the compassion during this space. So now circle that left arm back forward, reach it back to the front knee. Take the right hand, reaching for the right thigh, and slowly trace the front of the shin with the left hand as you draw that knee down, holding the foot, ankle, whatever you want to hold on to. You maybe use a strap. Breathe through the front of the quad as you work to get the front of the thighs parallel. So maybe you stay right here, Or maybe you soften the right knee, slowly reach the right hand forward as you draw the left foot into the hand, into your dancer. Reminding you to dance sometimes when you're in a storm or when things aren't going the way you expected, to release your control, because we don't have control. We've all been taught that. Breathe here for just another breath in your dancer pose as you feel that circle behind you. And then take your time, slowly come back up, slowly bring both hands to the knee, drawing the foot forward so your knee is in front of you now. Great job with this balance. So holding on to that left knee with the right hand, circle the left arm back and around, reaching for the horizon. Maybe keep looking forward or maybe shift the gaze. Always know you can touch down. This is challenging. Find a focal point to keep you more stable. So now let the left arm circle down and back to the front, and then soften the knee down, soften the foot down, and let's take our inhale. Try to come into the weird interlock this time, so it might feel a little awkward. Press the palms up, and then just let your body reach to one side. Let the hips reach away from the hands. And then inhale, center, body come center, exhale, hips go one way, hands go the other. Inhale, center, turn the palms down, lower the hands to the heart. And then we're gonna inhale, swan dive, forward fold, soften the knees, bend at the hips, just fold down. So we're gonna keep revolving just like we were practicing in our balance. So now let's bring the left hand in front of or inside edge of the right foot. So now we're gonna slowly lift up that right arm and then maybe lengthen out that right leg just a little bit. So that right hand can stay high or tuck it down to the low back. We're gonna soften both knees and we're gonna stay revolved here. Slowly step the left foot back and then draw the left hand underneath the shoulder as you stay revolved here, letting the belly just press into the thigh. Now slowly take your time, lower down that left knee, relax the foot if that's right, and just pause, staying revolved. And now release that right arm, just circle it around a few times, circling it back and around. And then let the hand float down, framing the front foot, and then exhale, sink the hips back. Let the head fold down. Perhaps shake the head out a little here. Just thanking your legs for supporting you and all that balance work, thanking your ankles, thanking your feet. Now take your time, slowly shift back forward. Lower the hands down, flex the left foot, and we're gonna slowly step back forward. So take your time stepping back forward. Head folds down. So now we're gonna get that other side in. So now we're gonna draw the right hand inside edge of the left foot, kind of in front of the left toes. So now soften both knees and then inhale up with that left arm. If it feels right, start to lengthen out the left leg. Breathe here as you expand from the earth to the sky, expanding your imagination to the possibilities, that you can live the life that you love. So maybe that top hand stays there or fold it down and back as the back palm rests down. So now soften both knees. We're gonna step the right foot back as we draw the right hand fist underneath the shoulder and we revolve. Keep letting that belly press into the thigh. Active energy through the rear heel, pressing out the heel. And now begin to soften that knee down, relax the foot back. And then you get to add on with that arm if you wish. So reach that left arm high as you start to circle it around and back and down. Expanding all the possibilities within you now. Last time around with the arm, let it soften down outside of the foot. And then when you're ready, sink the hips back, lengthen out the front leg, head folds down. Just a subtle drawing forward with the right hip as the left hip draws back. And now slowly rebend the front knee. Take your time, lift up the right knee as you flex the foot, and then stepping back forward, forward fold. And now we're gonna move into our Malasana, our yogi squat. So we're gonna turn our toes out. This is where you might want that block behind your feet, behind your heels to sit upon. So you get to choose, slowly bend the knees. The knees are going in the same direction as the toes. So now you're squatting the hips down and maybe drawing the triceps into the thighs. Pressing the palms together and looking forward. Breathe here. One more time, expanding the possibilities within yourself. Now lower the right hand down, reach the left hand high. Slowly melt the palms back together, pressing into the thighs. And now lower the left palm down, reach the right hand high. Slowly come back to the center, palms to the heart. And then we're going to draw our hands behind us, slowly turn the feet forward, knees forward. And just find a nice seated position. So now we're going to find that seated pigeon. So we're going to draw the right leg underneath and then the left ankle on top of the right knee and then the left knee above the right ankle. So let's sit tall and then we're going to find our forward fold here. So slowly find your forward fold. We did a lot of balance work. So let's just start to breathe through those through those hips. Just let your body melt down. Perhaps you grab a block to rest your head upon so you can do even less work here. We'll just be here for a few more breaths as you open yourself to the imagination of the life that you'd love. So now when you're ready, we're going to slowly inhale, walking your hands back, stacking that head last. So now we're going to take that left foot and draw it on the outside of the right thigh, and then maybe draw that foot back if that feels right, that right foot back. So now we're going to sit tall and we're going to draw that right arm out, wrapping it around that knee, and then inhale up with that rear arm and then kickstand it behind you as you revolve here. Once again, pressing the belly into the thigh. as you breathe slowly and deeply. So now slowly unwind, return back to the front. You can soften the knees on top of one another. If that's not for you, then just bring the ankle on top of the knee again. And then we're going to inhale up with the arms. And now take that left hand, bending it, pat yourself on the back, and then the right hand drops down behind you, perhaps reaching for your fingertips or just energetically reaching, releasing that tricep. And if you're pressing your head forward, I just invite you to just bring that right hand to the front of the tricep. That way we can keep a nice tall spine, head aligned over the heart. And then release the hands, unwind the arms, let the hands soften down, and then we'll uncross the legs. And then we'll draw that left leg on the bottom, right leg on top. Once again, ankle above the knee, knee above the ankle into that seated pigeon pose. So sitting tall, and then when you're ready, walk your hands forward as you melt forward, rounding through the spine, rounding through the head. Head falls down. And once again, maybe you grab your block so you can find even more ease. And really direct your breath through those hips. Some of us might even need a gentle tap with that fist, just tapping that outer hip to release the fascia. And just see if you can find just a little bit more ease as you soften down. And we'll just be here for another few breaths. I am open to imagine a life I'd love. So when you're ready, we're going to start to inhale. Slowly walk your hands back, let the head stack last. And then we'll draw that right foot outside of the left thigh and maybe draw that bottom foot closer to the hip if that's for you. So now let's slowly reach that left arm out as we sit tall, slowly wrap it around the knee and then inhale up with that rear arm and then drop it down behind you like a kickstand. And now breathe as you revolve here. We're doing lots of revolving to release our expectations of how it's going to be delivered so that we can trust the organic unfolding of life happening through us. And now gently unwind, return back forward, soften that right foot down outside of the hip or stack the ankle above the knee like you were before. So now we'll inhale up with both arms and then take the right hand, pat yourself on the back for all this hard work. Left hand circles down behind you and maybe reaching for the fingertips as we breathe here. Last breath here. And then slowly release the fingertips or strap. And then we're gonna grab our blocks if we have blocks, and then find a nice easy cross position. So you can do your lotus pose where you kind of fold both feet on top. We're gonna do that. Oh, I can't think of the name of it right now. That's okay. So we'll bring those blocks outside of the hips, and we're gonna do our last little bit of strengthening here. If this is for you, you can stay in just a seated cross, maybe forward fold if this isn't. So press through the palms, lift up the legs, and if you can, without swinging, just breathe here as you hold those legs up, holding the hips up. And it's okay if the feet and the knees are on the earth and you can just lift the hips up. That's great too. Really using the core muscles, using those arms here. And then soften on down. Move the blocks off to the side, unfold the legs. And then we'll just bring our feet forward, knees bent. And then you get to choose. You can find your boat pose to find that last little bit of strength here. Maybe you come into boat, or maybe you just slowly roll down. Taking your time to roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. And then find that nice long body. Lengthen out all parts of you now. And then slowly draw your knees into your chest. Come into those knee circles, or perhaps your happy baby, whatever you need here, maybe a little bit of both. Get that last back body release here. Start to let the hips soften even more down. Start to let the back body be really held now. Just feel that support beneath you. And now whatever you're holding on to, just release your feet, calves, and we're gonna just draw our body into a nice tight ball. Draw the knee to the nose to the knees, and just create that ball, the seed that you came from. And now expand beyond that seed into your fullest potential and let yourself rest in that space. Finding a nice comfortable position for Shavasana. Just let all parts of you now rest down. And find a little bit more ease. Let your head rest. Let your shoulders rest. Let the whole back spine just relax. As the hips rest down. The thighs, the ankles, the heels. Let all parts of you now rest down. As I end our class with just a brief reading from the Book of Awakening. Love like water. Only love with no thought of return can soften the point of suffering. Water in its clear softness fills whatever hole it finds. It is not skeptical or distrusting. It does not say this gully is too deep or that field is too open. Like water, the miracle of love is that it covers whatever it touches, making the touch thing grow while leaving no trace of its touch. True, the faces of the shore and the arms of the cliff are worn to bone, but this is beyond the water's doing. This is the progress of life, of which water is but an element. Most things break instead of transform because they resist. The quiet miracle of love is that without our interference, it, like water, accepts whatever is tossed or dropped into place. Whatever is tossed or dropped or placed into it, embracing it completely. But of course, we are human and are easily hurt if not loved back or if loved poorly. But we waste so much of life's energy by deliberating who and what shall be worthy of our love, when in the deepest elemental sense, these choices are not in our province, any more than rain can choose what it shall fall upon. Yes, we certainly need to make decisions of who we'll spend time with, who we'll learn from, who we'll live with, who we'll marry. But beneath all that, the element of love doesn't stop being elemental. It does not stop covering everything before it. And over a lifetime, the pain of withholding this great and quiet force is more damaging than the pain of being rejected or loved poorly. For love, like water, can be damned, but toward what end? In truth, the more we let love flow through, the more we have to love. This is the inner glow that the sages and saints of all ages seem to share, the wash of their love over everything before them, not just people, but birds and rocks and flowers and air. Beneath the many choices we have to make, love, like water, flows back into the world through us. It is the one great secret available to all. Yet somewhere, the misperception has been enshrined that to withhold love will stop hurt. In truth, it is the other way around. As water soaks scars, love soothes our wounds. If open to, love will accept the angrily thrown stone, and our small tears will lose some of the burn in the great ocean of tears. And the arrow released to the bottom of the river will lose its point. So just open yourself to the water of spirit that runs beneath everything. The energy of love rise from you to the simple objects before you. Feeling the energy of love in the air surrounding you, the earth beneath you, even a piece that may be broken before you. And just let yourself rest in this love. Beginning to come back with the power of your breath, with that love note that you can send to yourself as you inhale and exhale. Starting to move the fingers and toes as you let that love just permeate through all parts of you to the very edges of your being and beyond. Maybe you take a moment to just stretch and then slowly take your time to roll to one side. And just pause there on the side as you just perhaps breathe in a bit of gratitude for the earth and the support beneath you, the love that's all around you. And then when it feels right, just slowly find your way up to seated, letting your head stack last, finding a nice soft seated position. And once you're there, just slowly softening your hands down as we all touch the earth together, being connected to this oneness, to the love that we all are. And now let's slowly flip the palms, surrounding ourselves in that love like an aura, like a bubble perhaps, to take with us, to surround us. Let the hands melt down to our heart as we breathe that love in, planting it deep into the heart. And now connecting our mind with our heart as we bow down, as we open our imagination to the possibilities, as love runs free. From my heart to your heart, I'm wishing you guys just a beautiful day and just a blessed week. Together we'll lift the head and say namaste. The light in me honors the light in all of you. Thank you guys. Appreciate each one of you. I'll give you the option